Hi everybody, I'm back. Yep, it's true. It's been forever since my last video. I actually had to go watch it again to see what it was I was doing so that I would know where to start from here. But obviously, of course, I think there's only one place that we can start, and that is this little cat right here. I decided that I wanted a cat in Minecraft, and so after trying and failing, I should say, to find cats in local villages, I remembered I actually had a cat already, and it was all the way out at the witch farm. So I made the choice to bring her back here, and that's what I did. It took a little while, walking through the nether and all of that, but we made it. So now she's here. In that same regard, I actually built a little dog house for my two dogs because I felt so bad just kind of watching them in the rain all the time. So I built a little shelter for them. Also, the first thing that I want to show you and catch you up on here is a second storage system. I think I mentioned this in the last video. I'll be honest, I didn't watch it all the way through. But I think I mentioned in that video that I wanted to build a second storage system just like this one, but for colored blocks specifically. So that's what I did. And it's right over there. You can kind of see a slightly changed color scheme, but a very similar theme over there through the logs here as I'm walking through. But the concept is still the same. Same item filters behind it, same number of chests per material, and I have a module here for all 16 colors. There's red concrete powder, wool, terracotta, and then the same. Oh, that must have gotten wet. Here, I'll just swap that out real quick. It's no big deal. There we go. Yeah, and that's just the case all the way down through this little corridor here and back around to that side. If we just kind of follow this along, you'll see the next thing that I worked on once this was all complete, and that is an improved garage for Tech Deck, my horse. I should take this time to mention that we have updated to 19.3, so I don't actually have my free cam mods or mini HUD or anything like that anymore. I just can't be bothered to grab them anymore. I'm sure I will at some point, but I've just kind of been enjoying the pure vanilla Minecraft for right now. Otherwise, I would totally zoom over to the other side of the mountain and show you where Tech Deck was staying before. You know what? Here's some overlaid footage so you can just kind of see it too. But here's what Tech Deck's got now. It's just a wonderful little spot with some trees to make him feel at home, some hay bales, nice little shelter. So he has a whole pen now. So he's not just cooped up in that tiny little area that you saw. Here's the next project, a brewing station. I'm planning to fill this side with a bunch of automated brewerage stands. There was a terrific tutorial from Impulse a while back that I have followed before. It works really, really well. I want to try and see if I can figure one out on my own, but it really just comes down to the timings of when a hopper drains this. That's going to be the tricky part, but we'll see what I can do. If I can't figure one out, I'll just throw some Impulse designs in there. Let's see, what's next? As I showed you last episode, pretty sure, I moved all my chests from this side of the storage over to that one because it was a brand new storage system. But anyway, it just kind of left a really ugly looking gap here. So I decided to build something in it. I think this is a really, really cool tunnel. I had the idea of like, okay, I'll be honest. As with a lot of things, I got this idea watching an Etho video. He was kind of showcasing an old build of his where you walk into the room and all the walls are tracked, and the lights turn on, and there's his storage system. Or at least a small storage room. I loved it. I loved the motion. I loved the revealed lighting. So that's what I did. Well, sort of. No blocks move, but lights turn on as you go. And I'm going to turn the music down real quick. There, 15% will be good. All right. So here I go. As I climb down the stairs, I'll get in range, and the scope sensors below the path light my way. I think it's really cool, really atmospheric, and I'm proud of it. You can ride Tech Deck through here, or just any fast horse, and it's pretty cool. You kind of like outrun the lights, and then just kind of turning around and watching them turn off behind you. Love it. Good stuff. Of course, that meant I had to dig into the cliff here, but that's okay. Something had to happen with it anyway. So there we go. Next, we're gonna arrive here at some new farms. I built a couple new things to help with the production for mud for my brother's hockey rink arena project. And that required quite a few things. And then, of course, just a couple other things that I felt like building, so I built it. Here we are outside of my big rig. Here you can find a cocoa bean farm, and you all know this design. You plant the beans, shift the logs, and it goes up and down again, and then you just kind of walk around and replant it. Next up, one of the first things that I've ever done with a flying machine. This is a dripstone farm, as you can hopefully tell. And once a day, the flying machine will shoot on down, knock all of this down from the ceiling, from the floor, and then a minecart goes beneath the entire thing and picks it all up, comes and drops it off here. And I've got a couple of stacks already. And then, yeah, just it continues along its little path here, hits the cactus, drops into the hoppers, and goes back down underground. Let me see if I can just go ahead and trigger it real quick so you can see it in action. All right, here we go. That did nothing. Okay. Oh, is there a problem with it? Oh, maybe. Doesn't look like it ever fully finished. Huh. Well, that's broken. You know what? Oh, that's probably what it was right there. The slime blocks must have gotten stuck together, and that couldn't finish. Let me see if I can get it back into position then. Wow, no, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to fix that. That stinks. Okay. It's okay, though. No worries, I already got several stacks. If I take you over here next, you can see the mud drying area, and it's all done. And then once this is all dug up, I can just throw it in there and smelt it all to get some terracotta. But that's that. Over here, I did try to build a tree farm. I'll include a bunch of footage of the tree farm R&D, and it turned out it just wasn't going to work. I'll include that footage anyway, just to kind of show you my thought process, the creative mode building, and you can kind of see like how I redstone problem solve. But keep in mind, as you see it, it did not work in the end. This tree farm was not producing any saplings whatsoever, so I would always run out, and that's just no good when you're trying to farm wood continuously. Additionally, there's this little guy. This serves to make a bunch of mangrove propagules. You have to bone meal this to get the little bud, and then bone meal the bud to get a full propagule. And then you just punch it out, and it comes to the chest. And then finally, you saw this big old lump of mangrove wood over here. You can see where I've been using those propagules. But this is because I have finally sat down, taken the time to organize my ender chest. I'll show you that right now. Here it is. All the shulker boxes. Check it out. So I've got a rocket box, a tech box, my tool box, and that's just going to be all my spare tools. I raided a woodland mansion trying to find some allays. Instead, I found 4 evokers, so I have 4 totems now. I've got some spare elytra, I've got some beds, I've got my horn, golden apples, you know. Just some stuff that you'll need every once in a while. I've got bones, I've got dirt, I've got my valuables, so 13 diamonds and 10 nether stars and 6 ancient debris. Really not a lot in there. Oh yeah, speedy splash potions. So that's what I've been using my potion area for, just filling this box up here, so that whenever I want, I can just give myself a little boost. Then I got a ton of empty shulker boxes, just trying to figure out what to put in those. So the chest is organized, but it's not fully useful yet. Here's some ender pearls, here's my log box, and that's what I've been doing over here. I went out and I did some tree cutting to try and just collect a whole bunch of oak and birchwood. And then back here, I gathered up the remaining materials, or the remaining wood types, and that's going to be dark oak, jungle log, mangrove log, acacia log. And I just kind of put them all in a line. And I really don't like chopping down mangrove wood, so once I hit my 3 stacks, I left the rest of it up. It looks cool. I'm just going to say it looks cool. Pretend it was creative choice. But yeah, iron box, stone box, and I think that's the last of my boxes. So there you go. There's an organized, not quite fully useful, but organized still all the same, ender chest. Alright, so here we are in my creative world. I want to build a tree farm. Behind me you can see the prototype of the nether tree farm, but I want to make a tree farm for other kinds of trees. I prefer spruce, so maybe that's what I'll have to do. But yeah, here it is. Just a quick little look at it, because I'm still pretty proud of the design. So that's what it looked like in all of its testing glory. And then here's some more farms. A piston door. That one's pretty cool, actually. I got that off the internet. Anyway. Oh. Okay, I got stuck. Anyway, we don't have to go down all of this. Yeah, I just want to like show off all the redstone. That's okay. Let's go. So the first thing about tree farms is you gotta grow them on dirt. So pretty quickly we ran into our first problem. We've got a dispenser, bone mealing the sapling. But I learned that when you've got a line of pistons like right here, just 1 block away, the sapling won't grow. So instead, I'm thinking I'm going to try and do some double pistons and see if I can like reach all the way out and then pull it out and kind of like push it along into a blast chamber like I did over there. If I take you over there real quick, you can see there is just 1 space between the sapling and the pistons. And that's because nether trees, they can do that. They'll just grow up anywhere. Whereas overworld trees have a bit more finickiness to them. So I'll give this a try and take you back in just a minute. Hit another issue, kind of the same one as before. Now that I've got all the double piston extender stuff in place here, it just does not quite work because this is encroaching on the tree's growing area now too. If I just kind of demonstrate for you, it's just going to click away until I'm out of bone meal. But these glass blocks here are interfering with the tree growth. So I'm thinking instead I might do some slime blocks and observers, just a big old array like that, and maybe that'll work. Let's find out. All right, here's the new prototype. Let's see. I've got 1 piston, a bunch of slime blocks, and then a big old array of observers and pistons. I think the piston push limit is 12 blocks, and that's 6 observers, 6 pistons, and 6 slime blocks, so that's definitely over 12, but just in case I'm wrong, let's find out. Yep, nothing. Okay. Good to know. Let's try something else. All right, I've split it out into a honey block section and a slime block section. And just to make sure that the piston has something to power the piston with. Did I say piston twice? Just to make sure the observer has something to power the piston with, I've added another block. Ooh, actually, I just had an idea. I could probably put put the observer sideways like that, you know, and then it would still move. Let me do that real quick. So like what I'm thinking is, yeah, I'll keep that for a second. All Alright, see what I'm thinking here? And then a slime block. Man, I am struggling creative mode here. Okay. Like that. So that way we can still keep it easily underneath the push limit. And I believe that should still function the way I think it will. So let's find out. If this works, then once the tree grows, the double piston extender will shoot out and grab the logs and pull them back. Definitely did not. Okay. I'm not sure why that is. Let me switch this out real quick. Just, set some arbitrary number there. Alright, let's try again. Okay, it still didn't fire. I'll keep fiddling with it and bring it back in when it does. Figured it out. What was happening was there was no solid block behind the piston, and so nothing was actually getting powered, so these just did not go forward at all. But now that we've got that together, you can see a log got pulled, or a couple. Okay, that's a really good sign. Let's try this again from the top, see how it goes. Stepping on the pressure plate, placing a sapling. Something broke. Okay. A lot of it did work, though. Alright, well, yeah, I'll keep working. Keep on working. Okay. Confession time. I got carried away, and I figured it all out. This does not work. If it is supposed to, it's not. I don't know. If you're smarter than me, please figure it out. But yeah, the observers and that, it leaves some behind. If I just break that, you can see. Nope, you can't. I blew up the redstone. Because I've been working on this. This one works. I figured, you know what? If I can't pull the blocks out of the way, I can push them. And there's nothing wrong with pushing them up. So the way this works, I've got my observers here to fire and dispense all this bone meal. Just like normal, right? You've seen it a million times. Right now it's hooked up to this torch, so it's off, and when I'm standing here, it's working. Okay. So, the redstone savvy of you might know this little trick where if you have logs next to leaves, it actually gives off some sort of an update for the leaf. And an observer can clue in on that. So from there, it's pretty self-explanatory. I've got this leaf that will detect when there's a log there, meaning the tree grew. The observer will fire and push it up. This is a sticky piston, not a normal piston, so it'll push the dirt up, pushing the entire tree up, and then bring it down again. This little circuit back here makes the pulse nice and long so that I don't get rapid fire pulses coming off of that, because this is hooked up to a TNT duper. And if I were to get rapid fire pulses, then I'm going to get rapid fire TNT and it can start flying everywhere. Hence the blown up redstone over there. Yeah, you can kind of read between the lines, put two and two together, all of that. But yeah, so I put up some good walls, so hopefully no more TNT will fly out. But basically, yeah, the gist of it is, as I hold right click and I'm placing down spruce saplings, they will get pushed up and up and up and up until the point where they start getting blown up by the TNT. I just realized, though, I should probably have some nice little safety blocks in place first, because the TNT will keep firing even when this hasn't reached the top yet. So just to be safe, I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you how it's done. So here I go, stepping up, and then I aim my cursor. I'm going to click into free cam mode so you can kind of see the action. But there we go. I'm just holding right click now, and it's going to grow, and it pushes the entire tree up. You see the redstone fire. That launched a TNT.
And there we go. Just like that, the tree farm is a success. As with most of my redstone designs, you will notice it is not a lossless farm. There's some TNT blowing up item action happening. There are items getting stuck behind the logs, as you can see there. It is not a perfect system, but I designed it, so I'm proud. But yeah, that's it. That's the tree farm. I'll have to build this. Oh, yep, here we go. There's some rapid fire action. But I got lucky there. It didn't actually start flinging TNT everywhere. But yeah, so that's the farm. I definitely have to build this on my survival world now. I say survival world. I mean the server. Ooh, also out of curiosity, let's see how much that got me. I don't know how long that was. Could not have been more than a minute, but there we go. 13. Okay, so yeah. It's not the most efficient thing in the world. But pros of this design, TNT duper. I'm not gonna run out of TNT like I keep doing for my other farm. My nether farm is not a TNT duper. It's just straight up dispensers with TNT. So I run out often and I have to keep restocking, and that's why I don't get to run that 24/7. But this one, I will be able to. It's not the most efficient, so it will be slow going, but at least I'll be able to fully AFK it. But there we go.
And there you have it. Sometimes redstone just doesn't work. And that is to say, sometimes your own skill is just inadequate. I'll have to watch more redstone tree farm tutorials if I'm going to figure this one out. But anyway, that's okay. Maybe I'll just build one of those tutorials. So anyway, that's all I got today. Thanks for watching again. And I hope to see you sooner than however long that was. Bye.